Tua this year has the highest QBR amongst starting quarterbacks. With a QBR rating of 115.7, he has played very efficient football this year, and every single game that he has played in from the start to the finish, the Dolphins have won. With him playing a full 8 games and him having 2,600 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and a low 3 interceptions. Yet still people question if he's good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think that is for 2 main reasons. One being that he doesn't have a rocket arm, which is okay, and we'll get into that later. And also he's just a lefty. And that just doesn't really look as good as a right-handed quarterback coming out of the hand. But we'll get into those reasons a little bit more later. When people see his undefeated record this year, they like to say that's only because he's in a great scheme and he has 2 great receivers in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But you know who else has a great scheme and a great set of weapons? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' MVP season, he had Tyreek Hill in his prime and Travis Kelce, which I think you can fairly say that he is more valuable to an offense than Jalen Waddle is. And they also had Kareem Hunt when he was playing very good. And they had a very solid wide receiver too in Sammy Watkins. Along with that, he had and still has a Hall of Fame head coach in Andy Reid. I'm not hating on Patrick Mahomes' talent levels at all, but having a good scheme and a good set of weapons around you helps you succeed, and that's okay. Yes, Tua does have a good team around him, but that does not make him any worse of a quarterback. Tua is winning games, and that shows how valuable he is to the Dolphins because the 3 games that he didn't play in, they lost. And it's not like they had some random undrafted free agent as their quarterback during that time either. They had Teddy Bridgewater, and he's been a starting quarterback his entire career up until this point. And that just shows how much Tua brings to the team. And Tua does not have a huge arm, but there are many other great quarterbacks in the past that didn't have Josh Allen type arms, notably Drew Brees. But Drew Brees didn't get anything close to this amount of hate. Drew Brees came into the NFL as a late first-round pick to the Chargers. He had some ups and downs with the Chargers, but mostly downs though. Eventually having to leave the Chargers because he lost the starting job to Phillip Rivers. Drew Brees went to New Orleans, and his first year there, he received Pro Bowl honors. Additionally, he finished in 2nd place for Offensive Player of the Year, only behind LaDainian Tomlinson, who that year he went crazy with over 2,000 total yards and 31 touchdowns. So when Brees went to a new situation with a good set of weapons around him and a good new head coach, he had success in that offense. And I wasn't really old enough to watch football back then, but I'm imagining after that year, people were not saying that the Saints should get rid of Drew Brees. And now several people are saying those things about Tua. And Tua right now, he is having a better year than Drew Brees in 2006. Brees in 2006 had a passer rating of 96, which is pretty good. And then Tua now, he has a passer rating of 116, 6 away from the all-time record. So why is Tua getting this type of criticism when he's playing so well? Tua does not deserve this. Just because he has a good offense around him does not take away from his great performances this year. And remember when Tyreek Hill said this?
Who got the strongest arm? Tua or Pat Mahomes? Tua or Patrick Mahomes? Obviously, like I'm gonna go with 1.5 as the strongest arm, but as far as accuracy wise, I'm going with Tua all day. So which one would you rather have? The deep ball where you got to scramble around the field to try to go find it? Or do you want that accuracy to hit you right in the bread basket on the run?
I want it to hit me right in the bread basket, just like I did in the Buffalo Bills game, and take it 70. And the rest is history.
And again, this is not a shot at anybody.
Right.
This is just stuff that had to be said.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said.
No one really took him seriously at the time, and most people thought he was just trying to get clout for his new podcast. And yes, Mahomes is a better quarterback than Tua. I don't like him that much. But what Tyreek Hill said isn't really showing to be that much of a lie. I still think Mahomes is probably more accurate than Tua, but Tua has been very accurate this season, just like Tyreek Hill said. And Mahomes clearly has a bigger arm, also like Tyreek Hill said. And speaking of arm strength, I think that's the main reason Tua gets hated on. In the NFL today, we're so spoiled with guys like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes, who all have all-world arms. And those arms are behind some of the greatest highlights you'll ever see, with 60-yard on-the-run back foot passes that ended up being monster plays. And that's just not Tua's game. Other quarterbacks win games by making plays like that. Tua wins games by moving the chains and allowing his wide receivers and tight ends to make plays. And it works. So can you really blame him for playing his kind of football? Another main reason I think that he gets a lot of hate is because the quarterback taken 1 pick ahead of him in the 2020 draft, and that is Justin Herbert. Herbert and Tua are basically opposite in every single way and form. Herbert has a rocket arm and was supposedly raw coming out of college, and Tua coming out of college was pretty polished and has an average arm. And I believe Herbert is a better quarterback than Tua, but that doesn't make Tua a bad quarterback at all. Tua has his strengths and weaknesses just like every other quarterback. So we got to realize that Tua is here to stay. We got to give him the respect that he deserves and that he has never had. Because if this season is a sign of what's to come, be ready for another decade plus of Tua dominating in South Beach. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. And if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and also subscribe for more NFL content like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.